Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. Best wildcard team for match day 4. So, if you're playing your wildcard in match day 4, there's a couple of things you have to look at. Number one, if you still have your limitless chip as well, and you're playing your wildcard right now, then I think you're in a very good position, very strong position. You can just target match day 4 and match day 5. Plan for those two match days. So if there's a team like Arsenal who have two home games against Sevilla and Lens, you can go for that. If you want like a Man City who have a game against Young Boys at home, another game against Leipzig, maybe a team like Bayern Munich who have Galatasaray at home, and they'll also play Copenhagen away from home. So you can target those teams in match day 4 and 5. So you don't really have to worry about match day 6. You can just play a limitless chip in match day 6. But if you don't have your limitless and you're planning to play a wildcard right now, I think you have to look all the way to match day 6, match day 4, match day 5, match day 6. So by that, I mean, plan how you're going to make your transfers in match day 5 and 6. Obviously, this is ignoring things like injuries and suspensions. All those things can happen from anywhere, and you cannot really predict that one. So in terms of picking up teams, for example, I mean, look at the table, the groups, the standings, and all that. So don't just go for three Bayern Munich players, three Arsenal players, three Real Madrid players, two players from I don't know, Barcelona. Very risky, because I've looked at the table. For example, Bayern Munich are on 9 points, Galatasaray on 4 points. If Bayern Munich beat Galatasaray and Man United draw with Copenhagen, for example, Bayern Munich would have already gone through top of the table with 2 games to go. So maybe there could be a bit of rotation here and there. So you have to be careful in terms of that. A team like you need to target groups that you feel like are going to go all the way to the end, like Real Sociedad's group, Inter Milan's group, that group with Inter Milan and Real Sociedad. They're both on 7 points. I think they're both going to be fighting for top of the table until match day 6. So no problem with going with players like Dumfries and players like that. Arsenal's group as well. They're on 6 points, 5 points, I think, and 2 points each, 2 points for the last two teams in the group. I think that group could also go at least to match day 5. We're not going to see the top two until maybe match day 6. Arsenal and Lens have the potential, or have the capability, I think, in terms of the group standings, of going through by match day 5. That is a capability, but I think that is a good group to target as well. So look at the top teams, maybe a Man City as well. They could easily be through by match day 5. So also plan your transfers, and also in terms of budget, you don't have to use all your budget, like use the entire 100 million. No, even if you use 97 million, 98 million, and you feel like your team is good enough, that 2 million, that 1 million can help in the next trans when you need to make transfers in case of injuries or anything like that. So if you're playing your wildcard, there's a lot you need to look at, especially if you don't have your limitless, so that in match day 5 or 6, you don't get yourself in a very tough position where you have like 9 players not starting and you only have 2 transfers and you don't have any money in the bank. No, it will definitely help if you look at that. So with all that said, let's go to the best match day 4 wildcard team that I have picked. So I've taken all that into consideration. In terms of the goalkeeper, I've gone cheap with the goalkeepers. I'm going to go with the Real Sociedad goalkeeper. As I've said, I think this group will go to the end, and Ramiro has been very, very good value at 4 million. And I've also gone for the Celtic goalkeeper. There's a chance they could be fighting maybe for the Europa League or something to qualify for the Europa League. And I think their goalkeeper also helps you save money. He saved a penalty so far this season as well. So Ramiro and Joe Hart, only 8.6 million for the goalkeepers. I think that is good enough. He might not, I mean, Ramiro does keep clean sheets here and there, and he can get you save points. And you never know with Joe Hart as well. He can get you a lot of save points. I don't think you're going to get any clean sheets from Joe Hart. And I'll try to leave a bit of money in the bank, as I said, in case you want to upgrade your heart or something like that. So that is those are the goalkeepers. Defensively, let me start with two players that I also included in the Limitless video. One of them is from Leipzig. I think David Drum is a very, very good option. I've talked about him a lot. In terms of attacking potential and that group as well. They might not get fast, but they could be fighting for it until maybe the final day, because I think they're playing Man City in match day 5. If they get a result there, there's the chance that they could be fighting for top of the table with Man City until the final day. So David Drum is the option. Then if they lose to Man City and the other teams catch up, they could be fighting for top 2 as well. So David Drum is the first one that I have picked. Next up, I've gone for Cancelo. Barcelona, I think, is very good in terms of going forward and all that. So Cancelo is my pick defensively. You can always go for the cheaper ones if you prefer someone like a Christensen, although he was benched last time, so that is a worry. Next up, I've gone for an Arsenal defender. mainly because they have back-to-back home fixtures and also because that group could go to the final day. So I've gone for Saliba at 5.5 million. Next up again, I've targeted another group that could go to the final day. That is Inter Milan's group, and I have gone for Dumfries against Salzburg. Attacking potential as well. He's owned by 15%. He's not gotten the attacking returns usually expect him to so far. But hopefully you can get one or two before the end of the group stage. And then finally, in terms of the defense, I've gone for a Man City defender, Akanji. I think he will start most of the games. Even if Man City go through, I think Akanji could start at that dead rubber game, kind of, as to say. So David Rom, Cancelo, Saliba, Dumfries, Akanji are the defense that I have picked. I don't think there's too many, especially if you're looking for cheaper ones. Maybe Christensen instead of Cancelo, that can help you save money. I think Rom has to be in your team. Akanji, if you don't want a Man City defender, you don't have to go for it. I mean, they've considered in all 3 games so far, so you don't really have to go for Akanji. You can go for someone else. Also, if you feel like Arsenal will concede against Sevilla, you don't really have to go for them. But in terms of David Drum and Dumfries, I feel like you have to target those teams going forward to match the 6. Let's go to the midfield next up. One midfielder that we definitely don't debate about. We've talked about him a lot of times. I feel like this is like 100 times I'm talking about Jude Bellingham. He just has to be in your team. They also have good fixtures. Braga at home. They'll have Napoli at home as well. They've basically finished the tough away fixtures. They will go to Union Berlin, but even there, I expect Bellingham to score a couple. There is a chance, like by match day 6, they will be through and he could be rested. But that then we'll have like 2 or 3 transfers. Also in match day 5, if I play my wildcard in match day 4, I'll be looking to make 1 transfer in match day 5 and save 1. To have 3 in match day 6, it will definitely benefit you that there will be changes in match day 6. Next up, I have gone for another Leipzig player. That is Xavi Simons. A couple of good games against Red Star Young Boys coming up, and 6.5 million helps you save cash. He's already picked up 19 points so far. He scored a banging goal last time out. Another player that I had in match day 3, Chananoglu, another group that could go all the way to the end. He takes the penalties as well. I think Chananoglu is a very good pick. I was so happy he scored for me last time out. The penalty, I thought he was going to blank. He was a transfer that I made in the very last minute. Chananoglu. Next up, I've gone for an FC Porto player. They will play Royal Antwerp. They will play against Shakhtar as well. So I have gone for Galeno. He got a bunch of points in the first match day. He didn't really deliver in match day 2 or 3, but it's very cheap. So I've gone for him as well, Galeno. And then lastly, in midfield, I've gone for a Real Sociedad player. That is Mendes. I think is a good pick as well. I included him in the Limitless Team video too. But Galeno and Mendes, 6.8 million. You can always upgrade that if you prefer, even especially if you have like 1 million in the bank remaining after you create this team. You can always upgrade that. You can always go for someone like a Rodri instead, a bit cheaper as well, instead of a Galeno, Mendes, and triple up on Wednesday if you prefer. There's other options you can go with, but that is the midfield I've picked in terms of wildcard. And then finally up front, once again, I have gone for Erling Haaland. Is always going to be in the team like Bellingham. But again, if you go for Alvarez, then you save a lot of cash that you can use elsewhere. Like you can upgrade someone like a Galena in midfield to a Musiala or Coman or something from Bayern Munich. But as I said, be very careful with the Bayern Munich and Real Madrids. They could be through by the next match. Then they could decide to rotate players. Even though they don't want to lose the games, they could rotate. I don't think it's a big deal for Bayern Munich to rest Sane and play Coman and Gnabry on the wings. I don't think it's a big deal for them. It's still almost the same, and they get to rest Sane. They could rest Kane and play Choupo-Moting or Tel up front, for example. Speaking of Kane, he also makes the Wildcard Team. Very good option, takes the penalty, scores a bunch of goals, already selected by 34%. And lastly, I have gone for an Arsenal player, Martinelli. I usually don't like midfielders who are put down as strikers in the game, but I think in terms of ball recoveries, he can get you that. And for strikers, the likes of Haaland, he won't really get you ball recoveries. But from Martinelli playing on the left side, he can easily get you a goal and an assist. He can easily get you a player of the match. He rested in the last game, so I think is a good option. If you don't want Martinelli, you can go for Jimenez from Feyenoord. You can go for Morata from Atletico Madrid if you prefer. You can also go for, instead of Martinelli, you can find a way to have Saka in midfield and go for Alvarez up front. There's a lot of options you can go for in the wildcard team. But remember, as I said at the beginning, if you have your limitless, then just target match day 4 and match day 5 and use your limitless in match day 6. But if you don't have your limitless and you're playing your wildcard, this is basically the last last card you're playing. So you're going to have to look at match day 5 as well and match day 6 coming up. So with that team, best captains, obviously, Bellingham at home to Braga could be a great, not could be, he will be a great captain pick, and obviously Harry Kane as well. All very good captain picks. Let me know which of these players you're going for. Are you playing your wildcard? What is your plan for the wildcard? As of now, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll definitely catch up with you next on team selection video coming up, tips video coming up, the deadline stream coming up. Look out for all that. Thank you for watching and catch up with you on the next one.